Why do people like playing on slot machines so much? What makes them different from other games of chance that don't have as many players as slots do? 30-plus years gambling experience. Author has 196 answers and 2 M-Answer views. 1 Why slot machines offer customers a gambling experience that is different from table games and sports betting. Slots allow gamblers an opportunity to bet small amounts of money for a shot at a large jackpot if it's your lucky day. One or several people might enjoy one slot machine. However, most people develop a one-on-one relationship with a slot machine, at least for a few minutes to hours. There is no requirement to interact with another person while playing a slot machine, unless you hit a jackpot that requires a hand pay. You may get served a few free drinks by a waitress. The slots make soothing sounds while you play and keep you chasing wins as they tease with near hits. If you play long enough, you will eventually hit a bonus round. Many of the newer slot machines offer quite entertaining bonus experiences. The bonus might provide a substantial reward, however, more often disappoint. The slots mostly have a high, if not the highest, casino edge of all games offered by casinos. However, they remain a favorite for many folks visiting and playing at casinos. Related. How can you stop playing slot machines? I go back and forth with playing slots locally. I live in Illinois. Slot machines are everywhere. Gas stations, restaurants, bars, truck stops, gaming cafes, liquor stores, bowling alleys, golf course clubhouses. My experience over about the last year or so is this. I will get a few small wins followed by a much bigger loss. Happened just last night, lost R600, first loss of the year. I do like playing them, but the pattern doesn't change. Over a long period, I lose money. I'm not losing enough money to be homeless or anything like that, but I would guess over a period of about a year, my losses are around R3K. I'm pretty secure financially, so this doesn't affect me negatively, other than make me feel aggravated and stupid that I let a fancy machine trick me into thinking I'm going to win big. I would rather have taken that money and spent it on a nice vacation or something for myself. Instead, I basically threw it away, staring at a screen and pushing a play button. The wins are nice and make you feel good, but if you're losing, then you realize that it's really not that fun or entertaining. Last night, for instance, I knew it wasn't going to be a winning night. But I kept playing and losing more money, thinking at some point I might win it back. Sad part is, it has worked a few times. I dumped hundreds in losing it all, and finally, hours later, got lucky and won it all back and then some. My thinking is that I can't win it back if I quit. I did win a chunk back on one bonus last night and then gave it back later trying to get another one. That flawed thinking is the main reason I should give them up for good. I can't control my losses. I'm not sure if I would classify myself as addicted, but I do show signs of being so. But to quit playing them altogether, the player needs to find a replacement. You still want to do things to entertain yourself in your free time. Just because you quit playing, the time still exists. Sitting home doing nothing is an option, but it doesn't work. Perhaps going to see a movie at the local theater is a good option. It takes hours and only costs a few bucks, if you can resist the urge to spend R200 on snacks and drinks. But the point is, you can be entertained for the same amount of time you would have played slots for about the cost of a drive-through meal. You go home feeling fulfilled instead of feeling dejected. I write this as both a message to everyone out there and also to myself. If only I could always take my own advice. We are all human. We have our flaws and weaknesses. I feel sad today, depressed even, but I realize I simply gave in to my desires. I can beat myself up over it, but a better solution is to learn from this recent mistake and try harder to correct the behavior. It's hard to stop, but I know personally that I must. It goes against my conservative nature. It's an abnormality that I must isolate and remove. But you have to have a plan. Just like being addicted to drugs or alcohol, something has to take its place. I hope this helps at least one other person who is also reading this. Related. Why do people love playing in casinos even though most of the time they lose? I am fully aware of the odds. I'm a mathematician and statistician. But I gamble in casinos because it is fun. People win. I have won. I have not won more than I have lost in most games. The only game for which I can claim that honor is table poker, which is really the only game you can, in the long term, win in a casino. The reason for that is the house does take a commission per pot, basically a small price for the service of keeping the game honest. But you are playing against other civilians, the majority of which are inexpert poker players, and their mistakes can put the odds in your favor if you are patient enough and understand and play the odds. Professional gamblers do not bet against the house. They play games where the odds depend on tourists and inexpert players. Those tend to be the poker tables and, to an extent, pari-mutuel games and sports where sufficient knowledge and research can make a difference against the people betting on their own college or local teams. That said, I have bet against a guy having the hole card to fill out an inside straight because I had in the hole one of the 4 cards he needed. I thought he was trying to bluff his way into the pot. I called his bluff, and it wasn't a bluff. I lost a few $100 on it. I misread him. The cheers and reaction of the table when he flipped over his cards and had the straight were worth it. I was not pissed. It was a smart play. Long odds are not a guarantee. I find it fun to hit a jackpot, make several passes in a row at the craps table, watch somebody make a big bet and hit it, and to see others do the same. To see the whole roulette crowd spontaneously erupt in cheers when somebody nails a big bet. I am an empathetic person. It makes me happy to see people having a good time. I also have self-control. I set an amount I plan to spend, and I've never exceeded it. In over a dozen casino trips. I consider it the price of the entertainment. I can afford it. I never regret it.